Knowing the structure of your exams means that you know what to expect and you can prepare in advance for them. High-level students and standard-level students aren't required to take the same exams, so I will make sure to highlight the differences in this video. Not all of your grade is dependent on exams only. A certain percentage of that grade will come from your internal assessment. For standard-level students, that will be 25%, so 75% is from the exams. And for high-level student, that will be 20%, so 80% will be exams. There are 3 geography exam papers in total, but do note that only the high-level students will take all 3 papers. Paper 1 is on the geographic themes. That will be your options. Which options you will study depends on whether you are a standard-level student or a high-level student, and it also just depends on your school and on your teacher. Paper 1 is 1 hour 30 for standard-level students and 2 hours 15 for high-level students. There is a total of 40 marks available for standard-level students and 60 marks available for high-level students. The paper contains 7 option questions, and you will only answer the questions for the options that you will have studied. That means that standard-level students will only answer 2 option questions for the 2 options they have studied, and high-level students will answer 3 questions for the 3 options they have studied. So for instance, I was a high-level student, so I studied 3 options. I studied option A, freshwater, option D, geophysical hazards, and option G, urban environments. Although I didn't actually sit the exams because of the COVID-19 pandemic, if I were to have taken these exams, I would have answered 3 option questions, option A, option D, and option G. Each big option question is worth 20 marks, but it is made up of smaller questions. Every option question contains 2 parts, structured questions and a 10-mark essay question. The structured questions will tend to be worth between 1 and about 6 marks, and they will most of the time be associated to either a graph, an infographic, a table, a picture, etc. For the 10-mark essay questions, you will have a choice of 2 10-mark questions, and you will only answer 1 of them. It is completely up to you which one you choose. I would just recommend that you choose the one that you feel most comfortable with. Since these are questions that you should answer with case studies, I would recommend choosing the question that is associated with the case study that you remember the most. Considering the time given for this paper, both for standard-level students and high-level students, I would recommend that you spend no longer than 45 minutes on your options. Paper 2 is going to be on the 3 core units that both standard-level and high-level students will have taken. This paper is the only paper that is the exact same for both standard-level and high-level students. This paper lasts 1 hour 15 and there are 50 marks available in total. Paper 2 is split into 3 sections, section A, B and C. Each one of the unit questions is composed of small structured questions which tend to be worth between 1 and 4 to 6 marks. And for this section, you have to answer all of the questions. Section B is worth 10 marks and it is a single question with subparts that will be asking you about an infographic which will be given in the data booklet. This question will be asking you about the data in the infographic to see if you can use that infographic properly to give a correct answer, and then most of the time there is a small part where it asks you about the quality of the infographic. For example, it could be asking you about an aspect of the infographic that could be flawed, or how could you improve this infographic, etc. Section C is also worth 10 marks in total, and here you're given a choice of 2 10-mark essay questions to answer. You will only answer 1. Just like for the paper 1 10-mark essay questions, you should be using case study to answer this section. On some occasions, you may encounter a question in section C which will allow you to answer using multiple case studies, either from the same unit or sometimes from different units. Paper 3 is a high-level paper only, meaning that standard-level students do not have to sit this paper. This paper tends to be on the 3 high-level interaction units, as well as just on the geography course as a whole. This paper lasts 1 hour and it's worth 28 marks in total. Here you're given a choice of 3 questions that are split in 2 parts, and you will only answer 1 of them. The first part of the question is worth 12 marks, and the second part of the question is worth 16 marks. Both parts should be answered with an essay. For the 12-mark question, it's roughly the same principle as the 10-mark questions that you will encounter in paper 1 and paper 2. You will need to answer using case studies from the relevant high-level units. Most of the time, it is appropriate for you to use multiple case studies either from the same unit or from multiple units. The 16-mark question is arguably the hardest question out of all 3 papers. The reason for this is that it is a much broader question which is meant to be answered with knowledge of the entire geography course, using synthesis. If you're not quite sure what synthesis actually is, or how to use it, I recommend that you go check out my video on it, because it is a very important concept to understand in geography. So to summarize all this, standard level students will have to sit paper 1 and paper 2. In paper 1, they will answer 2 option questions on the options they have studied. In paper 2, they will answer all questions in section A, they will answer the question on the infographic in section B, and they will answer one of the 2 proposed questions in section C. High-level students will take all 3 papers. In paper 1, they will answer 3 option questions on the 3 options they've studied. In paper 2, they will answer all questions from section A, the question on the infographic in section B, and one of the 2 proposed questions in section C. And in paper 3, they will answer one of the 3 proposed questions, and this question will be split into 2 parts, a 12-mark essay question and a 16-mark essay question. So that's all for the exam structure, and I do recommend that you learn this so you know what to expect in your exams.